You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome back to the big show. I am Jay Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine. Every week, the ever-popular Nobody. 2015. New year, new me. Not at all the case. If I hear anybody else say new year, new me, I'm gonna slap the smile off your face. And the ground is gonna be smiling. Because that's where you are gonna be. Because that is the most ridiculous statement I have ever heard in the world. We're gonna use January 1st as some arbitrary day to decide that we're gonna better ourselves. Well, if you needed to wait till January 1st to better yourself, you are a procrastinator. And you should just continue procrastinating. You're never going to make your life better. If not now, when? Sick of this whole New Year's, new me. We're going to get drunk and then we're going to hit the gym the next day and take selfies. You know what bothers me? This really gets me. There's like 85-pound girls who are 4'10" and they're going to the gym 9 hours a day to get jacked to look like female versions of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Meanwhile, I serve fat women in restaurants all day who are stuffing cheeseburgers down their throat, complaining that they can't lose weight. It's a fucked up society we're living in here. There's two sides of the coin, and they are very different. Okay, so what's going on with you? How's your life? Is it good? Is it good? Is it cold? That's another thing. I live in New York City, folks. It's on the East Coast. It's north of the equator. In the winter time, now this is news. This might be news to people. I'm gonna, breaking. This is breaking. In New York, it gets cold in the winter. I know. I know. You're probably sitting there like, whoa, Jay, shit. Mind blown. But it's true. It gets cold in the winter. This is why, if you didn't like seasons, there are states that don't have seasons. You can go to California. You can go to Arizona. You can go to Texas. It'll be Texas was cold this week. As you can tell by the national championship game on ESPN, they were wearing jackets outside in Fort Worth, Texas. But that's North Texas. North Texas, not the North Texas I live in, which is Staten Island, but you know what I mean. Guys, it gets cold here. We're aware. Like, the other day it was 9 degrees and I'm going to work. And I'm how you getting to work? How am I getting to work? The same way I've been getting to work for the last 15 years. I'm going to take the bus there. Oh, but it's cold out there. I know. I live here. I am aware of the weather. I'm aware that we're north of the equator and that it gets cold in New York. That's one of the things we signed up for when we decided to live here. So stop complaining about the weather. That's like the most ridiculous complaint in the world. At least if, you want to lose weight, you can stop eating. You can't change the weather. There's nothing you can do. Global warming because we ruined the planet, and you know what I need? I need someone to explain to me how global warming equals colder. I just want to know that. But besides that, I'm really sick of people complaining about the weather when you're from here. That's annoying. That's a something that you can't change. I don't understand why you think that complaining about it is going to make it better, but it's not. That will never happen. Another thing I'm sick of this year. Something else I'm sick of that I don't want to happen anymore. And I know that last year I kicked off the year with a bunch of things that I didn't want to happen anymore, and some might construe those as resolutions. They're not. They're promises. They're statements. They're things that are not gonna, like last year there was a handful of things that I didn't want to hear about, that I didn't want to talk about in 2014, and I didn't talk about them. I actually was listening to the podcast from last New Year's, and all of it worked, so I feel good. Now, on New Year's Eve, they were running all these on these stupid channels, the game show network and stuff like that. Because cable TV is just a forgotten medium now, and they just have 1,000 channels, and there's nothing at all good on. Everything that's good is streaming on the internet. It's a fact. But on New Year's Eve, I came home from work, and I was enjoying a slice of pizza. That's what I was doing, and my mother was, I don't know, she's in the living room watching whatever she's watching, so I'm looking at the TV. And they're talking about, the best things of 2014. And they're like, Tinder hit it big in 2014 with more than 6 million swipes, or whatever the case. New people are signing up every day. Welcome to technology. More people signing up for a dating website is the failing of that dating website, not the success. You don't judge your credit score by how many times you're late on a credit card payment, do you? I mean, no, actually. Let me make a new analogy, because that's actually exactly how you judge your credit score. I'm sure there's an analogy that works here. The idea is to meet somebody and no longer need the dating website. Not to, oh, more people are going to join. What happened? This online dating was supposed to be for people like me. Was supposed to be for weirdos who don't want to leave the house. I don't want to see hot girls on there. As much as I'd love to think that a hot girl is fucked up enough to want to be in a relationship with me, I know that in my mind that is not actually ever going to happen. So stop signing up for Tinder and Plenty of Fish and fucking, oh, I just did it as a goof. I just did it to be funny. Well, here's the thing. They make these websites based on math equations, and this amount of people like this amount of things, and these amount of people like this amount of things, and you joining just for fun it fucks up the whole math. It fucks up the entire math. Bill Nye couldn't solve it. You know what I did? I grabbed my friend's phone and I signed her up because she's single and she's always complaining that she can't find guys. So I said, yeah, I'll just sign you up for this. Look at this. Look, you like this guy? Oh my God, Billy's on here. Can you believe Billy's on here? Oh my God, what? He just broke up with his girlfriend. Oh my God, who the fuck cares? Don't do it for your friend. If your friend didn't want to do it, don't put her on there, because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be hitting first, and let me back up one more time. I'm sorry. Everyone talks about Tinder and they talk about the swiping. For about a year, the swipe is gone. You hit a check or an X. So you don't swipe left or swipe right. You don't do any of that. You hit a button. You hit a button. And if you put your friend on there because you think it would be cute, what's happening is that I'm going to see her and I'm going to click the check mark. And then she's going to wonder why some long-haired creepy drug addict is in her inbox. That's what she's going to wonder. Listen, if you want to play matchmaker, use your cell phone and call someone you know. Don't put your friend on Tinder. That is the height of stupidity in America, is using a dating profile to get somebody else a date. Listen, you know people. If you want to hook this person up with somebody, if you want this person to no longer be alone, check your Facebook page and look for your friends. If you really care that much. Because when I see a girl I know on Tinder, and believe me, it's happening more and more every day, I don't think that they're doing well. I don't think, whoa, her life must be going really well that she's on Tinder. That is not at all the case. And I get it. I get a lot of people. You know what they'll tell me? They'll tell me, but Jay, it's a hookup site. We're on here just to hook up. It's attractive girls and attractive guys, and we're signing up for the dating website that was created by ugly dudes who hang out in the basement. We're using their medium to fuck each other and keep all you guys who may not look like juice bag Rob Lowe from the DirecTV commercials. All you guys that don't look like that, meathead Rob Lowe, excuse me. All you guys that don't look like that are getting boxed out of the little world that you created. That's what they'll tell me. I gotta tell you, I have no interest in the world in having meaningless, innocuous sex with somebody who I've never seen, or I'm never gonna see again. I'm not looking for that. I love that the popular kids have invaded the fucking nerd table and they're profiting. Figuratively profiting. Well, they might be literally profiting too. I don't know. The only messages I get on Tinder is check out my profile at this website, and it's some fucking spam account. And I'm not trying to be thirsty. I am actually in a I'm in a very good position where I'm not thinking about how sad I am that I'm alone every single night. I'm not thinking about that. That's not on my mind these days. What's on my mind these days? The Deer Network, the podcast. I know I'm saying deer and it's derer, but I just, deer is cool. So this year, stop signing your friends up for dating websites. That's mad annoying. Some of us are trying to make the dating website scene. Some of us are trying to leave it. We don't want to keep joining. I don't want to join another website. I don't want to still be on Plenty of Fish next year. Why isn't there a Plenty of Fish, like Fish the Band website? See, I mean, J Pork's here, idea man. I mean, that's just what I am. I have millions of ideas in this little head of mine. Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening to this guy. It's okay. It's alright. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Want to talk about racial tensions? The NYPD, folks. And again, I just want to say that I have no personal vendetta against the NYPD. I am not a fuck the police kind of guy. And all the cops I know are my friends. The only cops I don't like are the 6 in my life that have written me tickets / arrested me. But just one thing. This whole police they stopped writing low-level summonses as like a protest towards the mayor because they don't like. Here's the thing, because the mayor is married to a black woman, so his son is biracial, the real biracial, not the Alex Rodriguez biracial where I'm Spanish and I call that biracial. No, I mean Mayor Bill de Blasio, his son is black and white because his mother is black and Bill de Blasio is obviously white. So since Bill de Blasio basically told the cops, it wasn't okay that you choked that guy, or since he said we need to go about policing things better, the police decided that fuck Bill de Blasio. That this cop's funeral, Ramos or whatever, that these 2 cops got shot in Brooklyn because, Brooklyn being Brooklyn, that's what'll happen. That's the difference between here and the rest of the country. But people don't like to you know what people think of Brooklyn? They see 2 broke girls and they think that's Brooklyn. That ain't Brooklyn. These cops getting shot is Brooklyn. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating what is factual and what is not. So at the funeral, Bill de Blasio was saying something on a big screen, and all the cops turned their back on on Bill De Blasio, Mayor De Blasio, and now the last 2 weeks has seen a steep drop in summonses being written for low-level crimes that don't cause immediate danger to the public. And so there's article and the higher ups, I guess the police commissioner and such, have said that if they don't start meeting their quotas, the quotas that cops say don't exist, not cops, the quotas that police commissioners and people in power say that they don't exist. If the cops don't start writing more low-level summonses, that they're going to start taking away vacation days and sick days and all that jazz. So if you live in New York and you haven't gotten a ticket lately, you're about to get one. As the Cold War between the police officers and the new mayor-elect continue, this guy has been... Listen, I'm not a politics guy. I don't know Bill de Blasio. All I know is that he calls a press conference for every single thing. 1 inch of snow, he's on TV talking. But I do know that the police is supposed to be the adults. I mean, that's just me. That's just my opinion. I think that, when you're a kid and you're like mocking somebody. No, you did it. No, you did it. Stop copying me. Stop copying me. I didn't, and you're fucking. I mean, that's how kids behave. Somebody is supposed, like, the lawbreakers, the gun tokers, the gun toters, the gangsters. Those are supposed to be the children. The police is supposed to be the adults. I mean, come on. And I just want. Don't take this the wrong way. You're gonna take it the wrong way. But I just. It's a valid point. I feel it needs to be said. Everybody over the past couple of weeks has been voicing their support for the NYPD. I support the NYPD. Here's the thing about that. Take a look at your pay stub. Like, if you get paid, if you get a check, you have a job, you get a check. Look at your pay stub and tell me the taxes that get taken out. One of those is state, one of those is federal. You didn't have a choice. Your tax dollars pay the salaries of New York City police officers. You've been supporting them your entire life. For anyone to think that they ever had a choice on whether to support the NYPD or not is absolutely ludicrous. Look, I paid $12.90 for this pack of Newport 100s. I know, hey, you guys are like going nuts, right? $12.90, yeah, $12.90. The cigarettes cost about 75 cents. The rest of that is taxes. Some of those taxes going towards New York City's finest. The boys in blue and the girls in blue. Dark blue. It very confuses me when blue looks like black. Okay. So everybody who supports the NYPD, we know, unless you don't work and don't pay taxes, you don't support the NYPD. Unless you're some Neanderthal who's fallen off the face of the earth, been living under a rock, been living in a jungle, I have a feeling that you support them one way or another. And trust me, like, I could not like getting tickets for smoking plants, but that doesn't mean that if some psychopath is trying to kill me, I'm not going to call the police. That's retarded. Like, people are so on one side of the fight or the other. Guys, everything with a grain of salt, everything in moderation. America hates the police. Again, grain of salt. America supports the police. Again, grain of salt. You don't have to be on one side or the other. You can just observe. Here's what you gotta do. Don't kill any cops. That's it. Don't don't provoke them. I know that there's that meme going around where, yeah, Nazis said that years ago. Nazis used to say, yeah, just listen to the police and nothing will happen. This isn't Nazi Germany. It's not gonna happen. Just relax. Oh boy. Well, this year we got new stuff this year. Like I said, new year, new me. New year, new me. This year you get to find yourself on the podcast. That's right, folks. Not exactly on the podcast. Here's the thing. I don't like. Let's go full disclosure. Okay, I don't like the house mic on my laptop. I know what you're thinking. You're listening to this and you're probably thinking, "What do you mean, Jay? You don't like it? I don't care if you don't like it. Your sound quality, like if I had to grade it, it would probably be a C or something right now." So I don't understand why you're complaining that your new Dell laptop, you don't like that the microphone that comes with it, that you need to plug in. Listen, listen. New year, new me. I don't like the way Skype works where I have to use the factory microphone and it sounds like I'm talking like this because I'm so far away. I don't like that. I have this microphone now. It's a little Samson and I could shove it in my fucking mouth because it is right here and I could put it wherever I want. But you get in. You get in this year. And how do you do that, you ask? Well, we will have an email segment. I can't believe I look. I've been thinking for days. I've been saying email segment, email segment, email segment, and I come on and I fucking dinged it up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're gonna have an email segment. Now, I like to pay homage, like in the way I act. It's a lot of the radio heroes I've grown up with. A lot of the people I've seen doing what I want to do. Whether it's, Mike and the Mad Dog, or whether it's, Matt Pinfield in the 90s. Not Matt Pinfield now, but Matt Pinfield in the 90s. Whether it's, who the fuck knows? Point is, I got away from Jim Rome. Jim Rome is another one of my radio heroes whose show I used to listen every 3 hours to. I used to listen to the 3 hour show every week, every day when it aired in New York City 10 hours after it aired live in California. I know, that's crazy. It was sports, and all the sports topics that he was discussing when I was listening to it was already over. But the show was that good. So he reads emails. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be reading emails from now on. So you can get at me, jporkspodcast@gmail.com. I made it as simple as I could for you. That's jporkspodcast@gmail.com. What to email me, you ask? Well, that's simple. Whatever the hell you want. Listen, I'm not the only one who likes music. You guys like it too. So if something happens that you want to hear my opinion about, that you want to hear me talk about, you just fire an email away at me. And I will read it on the air, if you want me to, and answer it and give you my opinion. A lot of people have opinions. I'd have you call up on Skype, but I don't like how it sounds. Just being honest. I know it's the future, but I still, for some reason, this computer doesn't let my mic cord plug in. It doesn't like it. I don't know why. Insane to me. New year, new me. What? What? New year, new me. New year, same. Don't give a fuck about these festivals. We had some festivals drop. The lineup for Coachella dropped last week, and then it was followed by the lineup for Bottle Rock in Napa Valley. Then it was followed by the Governor's Ball lineup. Then it was followed by the Hangout Music Fest lineup. And it's all disgraceful. Let's go over it. Because what the fuck? Why not, right? Coachella. Coachella, arguably the best festival this side of the pond, this year features the likes of Jack White, AC/DC, and Drake serving as headliners. Jack White is most certainly a festival headliner. I place a check mark next to his name. AC/DC's last visit to the news is their drummer Phil Rudd's ability to have someone killed, allegedly, and the awesome rates he gets on escorts. And Drake. What in the actual fuck is going on with life these days? I mean, I think hip hop most certainly belongs in the festival headliners discussion without a doubt. There are some great hip hop acts that well deserve headlining duties. This still leaves me with the question of why Drake is headlining Coachella. This guy is only relevant because P. Diddy punched him in the face a few weeks ago. At least Coachella got Kasabian. In all seriousness, Drake. This guy is from Canada. And I'm not saying Canadians shouldn't headline, because if Neil Young was available, let him rock in the free world. But who are the people that like Drake? Who are the people that listen to Drake? And if Drake is the #1 hip-hop act right now, then I gotta tell you, this is a world I no longer want to live in. This is a world that I no longer would like to live in. AC/DC, I'm glad Phil Rudd is able to, I hope Phil Rudd's able to stay out of jail before Coachella. That's why it was a big deal when he was getting investigated or something, because they were doing Coachella. AC/DC? What year is this? And, I mean, you guys know I'm easily annoyed by Jack White. Jack White is the only thing that belongs here right now. Like, I saw Jack White and said, thank God. Because at least I got one headliner. And I see right before Jack White is The Weeknd. You're gonna have to wait till he gets out of prison. He got locked. All right, let's coach as all these festivals do this. They have the big names, then they get smaller, and that's cool with me. But then I can't read it. And again, Coachella's 2 weekends. 2 weekends again. AC/DC, Tame Impala, Interpol, Steely Dan. That's another thing. People are flipping out over Steely Dan playing Coachella. Relax. Who? I mean, he's not headlining. Although he is on that first line. Alabama Shakes, Ride. Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, but not Wu-Tang. And again, see, they're getting too small. I'm getting older. I can't read this. Alright, Jason Bentley. Brant Bjork. I'm just the ones I can read. Is that Ghost? If that's Ghost, and they're playing that low on the Friday, that's sad. And Saturday, kick off your weekend with Jack White, The Weeknd, Alt J, Bell and Sebastian, Rat-a-tat-tat, Hosier, Bad Religion, Tyler the Creator, Father John Misty, War on Drugs, Run the Jewels, Kasabian. That's another thing. We've got Kasabian back in America in April. We have, I'm just hoping that they squeeze out another tour. Please, come back to New York City. And also, new in 2014, we're gonna have the fanzine for the Dare Network. The Honeycomb it's going to be mailed to you. Well, it's going to be mailed to me, and then it's going to be mailed to you. And inside that, you can read about Kasabian's return to New York City, written by yours truly. Anyway, continuing on, Kasabian. Again, too small. Drake is headlining this Sunday along with Florence and the Machine, Cascade, Ryan Adams, David Guetta, St. Vincent. There it is. Boom. St. Vincent can headline. Why is Drake headline? If you put if you switch St. Vincent and Drake, the world would be a much better place. And I'm not even up on St. Vincent's discography. I didn't even hear the last album, but be honest with you. I know that it's good. I hear that it's good. It's highly regarded music, and I believe that it belongs as a festival headliner. If she's gonna be at the first row, you might as well just replace Drake. Fuck Drake. Okay? Fuck that guy. Here's the thing about Drake is that he is the same exact person as Childish Gambino, but because Childish Gambino has a slightly silly name, nobody takes him seriously. Got one guy's from Canada who grew up in a white, predominantly white neighborhood who was an outcast for being black. And you got Childish Gambino's from Stone Mountain, Georgia, where in Stone Mountain they actually have and I actually learned this from Nardwuar, believe it or not, they have a pseudo Mount Rushmore with like Robert E. Lee and the leaders of the Confederacy because they still think they won the war down there. So because Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, because he did stand up and he's funny, because he's talented in other aspects that aren't hip hop, people don't take his music seriously. They just think that he's a joke. Even though he sings too. He said it on the radio. He said it to Ebro the other day, and he's like, "Why can me and Drake have this? Me and Drake have the same life, and he's a gangster, and I'm not." And I know what he means. No one actually in their right mind thinks that Drake is a gangster. We all know that if a guy like Jay Porks can put Drake on the floor. We all know that. I'm not even a tough guy. But this whole world where Drake can be popular enough to headline Coachella and nobody has heard of Childish Gambino, there's something seriously wrong with that. And that needs to be fixed. And another thing, Florence and the Machine. Does this mean we're gonna have new music from Florence and the Machine this year? Oh man, I really thought this was gonna be a good year. Now we're gonna have to have Florence and the Machine, or Florence plus the Machine. She doesn't use and, it's plus. I'm gonna call her Lawrence plus the Machine from now on. Fits in the Tantrums, brand new. This is all on Sunday following Drake. Built to Spill, off. Mac DeMarco of Salad Days. Everybody loves Salad Days. Jenny Lewis. I mentioned Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams. He's on the top line. He's going on after St. Vincent, believe it or not. So basically, see, a lot of people a lot of people buy their Coachella tickets. The people who go. I don't know. I'm not trying to generalize a race of individuals who go. But I mean, there are people that go every year just for the experience, and there are people that need to go once because of the experience. And to those people, I say this: those are the same people that go to Woodstock '99. I mean, listen, Coachella was probably good in the '90s or whenever it started. It's over. It's over. Okay? I understand that Golden Voice and their promoting team is great. It's over, guys. You're a regular festival now. You are no longer a notch above anything. You, Bonnaroo, Lala, you are all the same now. I swear, I've run into people who are like 10 years older than me at times, and they start telling me stories about Woodstock 99, and they think that, like, as if that was a thing. So, oh man, I was at Woodstock. Really? Because you don't look 60. No, man, no, 99. Oh, you mean the MTV concert? Come on now. You mean when they took a break from showing MTV's The Grind and they decided to show rock bands like Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock, people like that? Sorry, Coachella. Sorry, India. And 2 years ago, I wanted to go. 2 years ago, I was asking my friend to lend me $1,000 so we can go. We were gonna go to Coachella. We were gonna go see a Tupac hologram. I think that no, this was the year before the Tupac hologram. I think. I don't know. Festivals, and more festivals. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna get you more lineups when we come back after this.
Hey everybody, this is Andy from the Andy Dare Show. Just thanking you for checking out the Jay Porks Experience. If you want to learn more about Jay, follow him on Twitter at JPorks. Follow him on Instagram at JPorks. JPorks.com for the podcast, articles, pictures, you name it. There's a running theme here. It's JPorks. So for 2015, if you want to support the Dare Podcast Network, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com and click on the Amazon banner, and you will be tipping your cap to the Jay Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here at Dare Network. Thanks for listening. And back to the Jay Porks Experience.
And we are back. Delve into a few more festival lineups in a second, but first let me give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business every week. There is concertconfessions.com. That is where you will go for all your live music news and reviews for the fans, by the fans. Nothing new in 2015 as of yet. The year is still young. Also, to keep it locked with this podcast network, you go to theandydeershow.com. Don't forget the. Theandydeershow.com for all your podcast needs, whether that's the Tyler Kale Show, whether that's the Jay Porks Experience, whether that's the flagship show, The Andy Deer Show. You go check it out at Deer Network, and you click the ads on the side because you're going to buy stuff anyway, so you might as well buy it through us. Also, please do that at concertconfessions.com. You are going to buy stuff anyway. ChristinaRocks.com. She hosts the Time Warp 89xradio.com every Sunday morning, 8 to noon, and she's also got a blog, and she's got some stuff like the new Noel Gallagher song Ballad of the Mighty Eye featuring Johnny Marr. Actually, when I was listening to her show on Sunday, she mentioned it after mentioning that I should check out Kim Gordon's book tour. Kim Gordon's got a book coming out called Girl in a Band, and she is going to be going on a book tour. I'm not sure if she's going to be playing. Well, I guess she'll be playing. And she's like, Pork should check that out. And I'm like, yes. She's also got Unearthed, Nirvana Live in Portland. I love Christina. This has been circling the internet. And I've confirmed, well, you know what? I'm not going to admit to any federal crimes. But this Unearthed Nirvana show may or may not be on a laptop I'm looking at right now, along with 27 other live Nirvana bootlegs that I've accumulated, that someone has accumulated over the years. So, unearthed? I think not. But that's everyone's going with that. So that's the headline. It's not like, oh, Christina said it's unearthed. No, no, everybody says it's unearthed. They think it is. But I actually have this along with shows from 1988 at the Community World Theater, the Lift Ticket Lounge in Omaha. I've got the Blind Pig in Ann Arbor, April 10th, 1990. Palladium in Hollywood, August 1990. The Off Ramp, November 1990. Duffy's, May 1990. Vancouver, 91. I mean, this list, these are in FLAC files, or they would be on my iPod, but none of this isn't unearthed. This montage of Heck, the new Kurt Cobain documentary, is going to have exactly 0 unearthed material. And if you haven't heard it, you're not as big a Nirvana fan as you think you are. Nirvana live in Portland. That's been bothering me for weeks. It just so happened that I saw, not weeks, days. Just so happens I saw it on Christina's thing. But I don't know if it was spin on one of these fucking bougie sites that had it up. New Kurt Cobain songs. Oh my god. The same people who are gonna say, "Oh, there's new evidence that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain." Oh my god. My head hurts so much from this stupidity. And of course, you can go to anniequiet.com. That's your source for quality. And the headlines every week are powered by Anniequiet. And the headlines be music festivals is what they be. I just went over Coachella with you. We got Bottle Rock Festival in Napa Valley. This one is it's not an it's not a veteran festival. It's only been around a couple of years. But headlining is Imagine Dragons, No Doubt, and Robert Plant. Foster the People, Passion Pit, and Snoop Dogg also making appearances with Cage the Elephant, Young the Giant, Capital Cities, AWOL Nation, Portugal the Man, Public Enemy, ZZ Ward, Scott Weiland and the Wileabouts. Scott Weiland's got new music out. I'll get to that later, hopefully. And this is happening, you know what, it's not, the poster doesn't say when it's happening, which is just great for me. Big Talk, Ryan Sims Band. It gets kind of hairy at the bottom. And then Hangout Music Festival. Hangout Music Festival is, I want to say Hawaii. Alabama, excuse me. That would be the al.com. That would be what that stands for. Alabama. Okay. The lineup unveils top acts: Foo Fighters, Zac Brown Band, Beck, My Morning Jacket, Skrillex, Paramore, Foster the People, and Spoon. Festival takes place in the Gulf Shores on the weekend of May 15th through 17th. Tickets go on sale Tuesday morning. That is now. They are on sale now. This is the 6th installment of the Hangout Music Fest. This is the first Hangout Music Festival. They've partnered up with Golden Voice. Golden Voice are the promoters. On Monday, organizers announced a new partnership with Golden Voice, the company that produces the much larger Coachella Festival in California, and has partnerships with several other events, including the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. So basically, Hangout said, listen, we're going to get with some good promoters, and we're going to get some good bands. See, like, The Foo Fighters headlining, that works. I don't see Drake headlining this. The full lineup unveiled Monday also includes Humphreys McGee, Major Lazer, TV on the Radio, Damon Marley, Jenny Lewis, Dirty Heads, Lupe Fiasco, The Cold War Kids, Father John Misty, Drive-By Truckers, Charles Bradley and his Extraordinaires, Saint Pepsi. I love some of these band names, man. Five Knives. Did I say Drive-By Truckers? Drive-By Truckers. Beats Antique. VIP tickets are on sale for a manageable $1,000, and super VIP passes priced at an affordable $1,700. You know, in case you didn't want to buy a new car, you can go to Hangout Music Festival. In case you didn't want to invest with your local street pharmacist, you can go to Hangout Music Festival. And one more festival lineup dropped this week, and that was Governor's Ball. Oh, yeah. New York City. It's going to be great, right? I mean, it's the Big Apple. It's the big city. We're going to get the real deal headliners. Who's coming out? Who is Dave Grohl going to bring to Governor's Ball when Foo Fighters headline? That's what I want to know. Wait. They're not? Oh, but I guess, Jack White's going to headline, right? No? Okay, all right. Robert Plant, I get it. No? Who's headlining? Oh, Drake! Drake is headlining! Are you kidding me? Why? This is New York. I can understand if the rest of America likes that pseudo fake hip hop started from the bottom. Now we hear crap. That's 0 to 100 bullshit. I can understand if Nebraska likes that. I get that Canada thinks that is hardcore. But how dare you put this motherfucker headlining the Governor's Ball at Randall's Island, New York City? That is the absolute definition of retardation. Happening June 5th through 7th. Drake, The Black Keys, Deadmau5, Florence Plus the Machine, Lana Del Rey, Bjork. I mean, why do we get the shit end of everything? What happened to Orion Music and More? Remember that? Remember when Metallica had a festival in Atlantic City and they had like every good band in the world there? Remember that? It was like $150 for 2 days. Remember that? Lana Del Rey, Chromeo, Ryan Adams. Like, the Black Keys are a festival headliner, I get it. How do they go on before Drake? Drake. The Decemberists, Tame Impala, Rat-a-tat-tat, St. Vincent. St. Vincent on the fourth line of this list of acts, who every music magazine had St. Vincent's record in the top 5 of the year. Some stupid clickbait websites who have lists that name top live acts, which I think is really stupid, named St. Vincent their top live act of the year. But she can't headline Governor's Ball? Flying Lotus, Big Gigantic, The War on Drugs. And again, Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic is on the 7th line Weird Al Yankovic can headline any festival in America and he would kill it, and there would not be one person in the world who would be upset about that. I've explained to you in the past, seeing Weird Al live is like Broadway. And it's like Broadway meets vaudeville, if that makes sense, with the costume changes and the atmosphere and the video screen. And if anyone could headline a festival, it's Weird Al Yankovic. He's all about performance. It's like Jerry Seinfeld meets Alice Cooper, if that makes sense. Death from Above 1979, Sturgill Simpson, Sharon Von Eaton, Royal Blood. Damn. Royal Blood's an Enemy loved Royal Blood's album. And they're already down there. Moon Taxi. There's one good thing that comes out, besides Weird Al Yankovic, there's one good thing that comes out of the lineup for the Governor's Ball, and that's on the third line, right after Ryan Adams and Chromeo, or right before Ryan Adams and Chromeo, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds are on the card. So that means that Noel Gallagher is going to be in New York City from June 5th to June 7th. Which means that there is a chance, that there is an outside possibility that there might be a U.S. tour for Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. And if there is, I would beg you to play on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Sunday. Because I can't afford to taking off work is no longer an option. I can't afford it. 2015 is going to be the year I fucking start going to shows just because they're on days that I have off. Dead Mouse. Damn. Drake. I'm coming home. Or what is it? Hold on, we're going home. What's the fucking song? See, you know what? No, I'm not doing another second on Drake. Another thing, here's what I wanted to do. I was gonna record yesterday, but I heard that the Bonnaroo lineup was dropping. So I said, alright, I'm gonna wait for the Bonnaroo lineup, and then I'm gonna compare them, and we're gonna see what happens. Of course, Bonnaroo announces that they're gonna do the lineup Tuesday night, and while I'm at work. So I can't do it on the podcast. But I know last year they did some Super Jam video revealing the artists. It was so stupid. Have a festival. You don't need your festival lineup announcement to be its own festival. But with that, I'm going to take us to the email segment. Emails today brought to you by... Fuck if I know. Somebody will sponsor it. Right now, they're not. And amazingly, I've been tweeting about the new email address that we're going to do, jporkspodcast@gmail.com. And anything about music, anything you want me to address, any questions you have for me, if you want to send me some pictures, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, jporkspodcast@gmail.com. You can hit that up. And I told all my friends about it. And since I did, and I didn't open up the email all week because I wanted to make sure that I waited till the last second before I read all these glorious emails. Every single one of them. Oh, wait. There's only one of them. But it's Christina, actually. Christina Rocks is filling me in. She's got something about Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo is going to be such a shitstorm. It's going to put last year's big announcement to shame. This is coming exactly from Christina Rocks. Last year they had this stupid web show. Yes, they did. This year is going to be even lamer. Not sure what they're doing. Not sure if you saw what they're doing. But apparently they want people to call a hotline, and then they will reveal one band playing. Then you're supposed to tweet that shit out, of course, with the Bonnaroo hashtag, and then the lineup will be revealed through social media. Wow. I think my head just exploded. Didn't I just say we don't need your lineup announcement to be in itself an event? We don't need that. Call a hotline. Do people even know how to use phones anymore? That's from Christina. Christina always hitting us up. She's gonna be on, when I'm gonna work out a schedule with me and her, and we're gonna get to talking. And I told you the headline's powered by Annie Quiet. Headline this week is you could stream the new Sleater Kinney album, No Cities to Love. Portland's Power Trio streams their new album in full on NPR. Also, I mentioned the quote-unquote unearthed Nirvana in Portland. Unearthed, except it's on my computer somehow. I don't know. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. We've got... I mentioned Noel Gallagher's got the new song, Ballad of the Mighty Eye. That's such a Noel Gallagher title, The Mighty Eye. Everything's about me. Well, keeps lapping his brother in this Gallagher race to music stardom. L7. L7 has given away the 1999 LP Slap Happy. I know you heard about L7. L7 is trying to... last month, L7 announced that they're regrouping in 2015, and they encouraged fans to sign up by making... they want fans to sign up for a mailing list for updates and all that stuff. Yesterday, subscribers were given a sweet treat, a free download of the band's 1999 album Slap Happy, which has never been released as a legal digital download. According to the email, the band will be releasing it on iTunes shortly, but for now, they are giving it away for free to fans. If you love L7, be sure to sign up now to receive their free download, and more importantly, get your updates from the band, because more exciting things are on the way in 2015. You can like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. I just followed them on Twitter. Another band I hope comes to play shows on a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, so I can enjoy it. L7 is cool. If there's nothing else I like more, it's hard rockin' chicks. Besides Sleater Kinney. I just said that out loud. I'm sorry. I know you guys like Sleater Kinney, but I'm not gonna like Sleater Kinney until you like Sonic Youth. That's the rule. So, sorry. I have an ultimatum for you. Oh, this really got me. Okay. Got something from mandatory.com. Okay, now, everybody knows that I'm the type of person who hates everything, right? Right. There's a list. There's an article titled "If you like any of these songs, you are a total asshole." This list is one of the funniest things I have ever read in years. Years. It's basically, it names a song, and it has 2 paragraphs about each song. It has why it sucks and why you suck for liking it. For example, it has Hotel California by the Eagles leading it off. Now again, before I read this, let me just state that I don't agree with all the songs on this list, and I just want you to keep that in your mind, that I'm only telling you about this list because it's funny, and you're going to see why. Hotel California by the Eagles, why it sucks. The lyrics are a load of metaphorical bullshit that a freshman English major would be ashamed to write. Then there's that horrible opening riff. It sounds like the house mariachi band playing for their dinner at your favorite local Mexican spot. All of which leads into the wank off dueling guitar solos. This is a 6.5 minute song with 0.5 minutes of listenable music. See? That's funny. I like Hotel California. I like the song, and here's why I suck for liking it. If you liked the Eagles in the 70s, I can't totally blame you because they were the only three radio stations. There were only three radio stations back then, and they probably all played Hotel California every 30 minutes for a year straight. But if you like them now, it means you're most likely a dumb shit investment banker who keeps the band's touring schedule going by renting out $7,000 suites for their shows so you can snack on the shrimp cocktail while waiting a bunch of old men with long gray hair noodle on their guitars and take 3 intermissions to get through an hour-and-a-half set. That's funny. It's also a lot accurate. We'll go one more. We'll go one that's going to be popular for everybody, and that's "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey. You all hate it, and here's why it sucks. This song can ruin a variety of situations: karaoke night, happy hour, weddings, funerals, Journey concerts. This very well could be the number one most overplayed song ever recorded, and yet it keeps popping up. It's the cockroach of awful songs, and good taste is its nuclear bomb. Nothing can kill this thing's momentum. It will live on forever. The reason why you suck for liking it is because 99% of all situations you don't like this song either. But you're out for the first time for a while and it's 1:13 a.m. and you just did a shot and then wait a second. Those the opening piano chords too? Could it be? And now you all know the words and you're screaming them at me from 3 inches away. When the chorus finally drops, everyone around you is your best friend, and you won't remember any of this tomorrow. But it happened, and I hate you for it. Hold on, we're going home by Drake. Yes. I'm glad this happened. Why it sucks. When you're a rapper and your biggest hit ever is a song you sing with autotune, you're doing it wrong. Also, how the hell can you not hit the right notes in 2014? There are so many ways to overproduce that shit so it sounds right, and Drake still comes off as a castrated Hanson brother when he goes R&B on us. I know this is a recently overplayed hit, but this level of shittiness has some real staying power. Trust me, I will feel the exact same way about this song in 10 years. And here's why you suck for liking it. Basically, just about. This is so factual. Basically, just about every rap song written after 1996 is terrible. But Drake is really the cream of the crop. Cream of the crap, excuse me. His overly sensitive 1 minute, and then he turns around and tries to sound like a hardcore dude from the rough and tumble streets of Canada on the other half of his album. He's a chameleon rapper who will do anything for record sales, and you fell for it. He'll do anything for record sales and festival headlining slots. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. The term soft rock is a contradiction. One Neil Diamond has turned into a lengthy career and I'm presuming a solid gold house. It is the most uninspiring form of music you can make, full of bland chords, piano fills, and lounge singer vocals. This is essentially the mountaintop of soft rock and it should be forever erased. For all the imposters it inspired. Why you suck? I'm guessing you're a Red Sox fan if you actually like this song, which means you're just now downing your seventh $14 stadium beer and screaming along to the oh, oh, oh part while over aggressively putting your arm around your buddy's neck. No one likes that guy in the game. Any song by Jimmy Buffett. Listen, I'm not going to continue reading this. You get the point. This is a well written article. But But I shared it on my Facebook, and everyone flipped out on me. I shared this article on Facebook, and right now I'm looking for the link here so I can read all my friends' comments and explain. Here we go. If you like any of these songs, you're a total asshole. Bunch of comments. One of my friends says, is it okay for me to say fuck this guy? Neil Diamond's a pimp. There, I said it. I hate when people bag on the Eagles. They sound amazingly good, especially the vocals. Here's a quote. If you like anything that lots of other people like, then fuck you. So then I hopped in to comment, and I'm like, just gonna again point out that I do not agree with all of the selections. And then we got, I was with this guy for a long time, even on the choice of Neil Diamond. But then he dropped Spin Doctors in, and that lost me. Spin Doctors have one good song. Well, it's confirmed I'm an asshole. Fuck that guy. And then finally, I get that this is supposed to be comedy. I do. But I agree that he winds up coming across like an asshole. The point is, if you shared this on your Facebook, you would be applauded for it. But 2015 is going to be the year to take down porks. I don't think so. I don't think so. Sorry. This is why, yeah, you know what? It's true. These are the things I like. And if you don't like things I like, you are an asshole, and you should be called one. That's it. That's what it boils down to. Everyone, I've trolled so many sites. I've argued with so many people. People always say, Jay, what, you think you know the answer? And I've always said, well, no, but you know what? I've changed my mind. I do know the answer. If you have a question, ask it to me. I have the answer. Trust me. Mandatory.com. The funniest article I've ever read, I posted on Facebook to share with my friends, and I let them know that I don't agree with the list, and everyone fucking hops on and fucking trashes it. Because when they only trashed it because it's something I shared. Because Jay doesn't like Pearl Jam, and because Jay doesn't like the Foo Fighters, we have to abuse Jay on everything he shares. Everything he does is wrong. Just like at my job, everything I do is wrong. Just like when I set up that table for 9 the other day, and the guy walks in, comes over to the table, and he says, you know, this isn't going to work. You know what, dude? Fuck you and die. This isn't going to work. I didn't know the Spin Doctors were so popular that that could be the band that fucks this list up for you. What world is this? Like, I was like Jimmy Buffett, Billy Joel, UB40, Black Eyed Peas, Fun, White Stripes is on this list. Seven Nation Army is on this list. And you checked out at Spin Doctors. The Spin Doctors were too important of a band for you that two princes turns you off. That's insane to me. It's insane to me the things people will say in response to things just because I said it. Anything Jay can do, it is so wrong. Jay can do anything so fucking wrong. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Oh, he can. Yes, he can. You know what I'm gonna do? Well, know what I'm gonna do. Of course, I know what I'm gonna do. We are going to Oh, come on, Dick. I just had it. This is. I can't believe I had to pause to think about that. Oh boy. Um, Sports. First of all, you know what? And I'm gonna say I'm sorry for being all over the place. I'm always all over the place. If you looked up all over the place in a dictionary, there would be a picture of Jay motherfucking Parks sitting right there. But first of all, last night was the college football national championship game. I had Ohio State, and I knew that they were going to beat Oregon because Oregon is a system. And anytime you have one of those up tempo offenses in it's college football, you could tell it's college football because the receiver catches a pass and there's not a defender within 10 feet of him. Just receivers running wide open all day long. The best two teams meet and they turn the ball over a combined total of 6 times. But like I tweeted one thing. I might have said like, oh, something about Cardell Jones. And then you read the tweets like, is sports ball over yet? When is sports ball gonna end? Oh, I'm sorry, but when you're tweeting about Real Housewives of Hip Hop or whatever the fuck it is, whatever fucking ridiculous show you're watching, you don't see me. I don't start tweeting, oh, is reality TV show over yet? That's what Twitter is. If people were watching ESPN last night, don't get I'm sick of the are you still watching sports ball? It's it's ignorance, it's a different kind of ignorance. It's like I know you're saying the wrong thing on purpose. I mean, aren't you in America? Listen, I hate college football and I had that thing on because it's America. Nothing else was on. I was waiting for Castle to come on. Speaking of Castle, in a couple of weeks we're gonna get to the TV shows. There's some new shows coming out. We're gonna talk about that. That's gonna happen. So is sports ball over? Don't tweet that this year. You know that even if you're a girl who doesn't watch football, you know that it's football. Just don't tweet. Just don't go on Twitter for a little while if it's annoying you. If it's annoying you to the point where you have to tweet something about it, then you should maybe stay off the internet. And also, staying on sports really fast, the Baseball Hall of Fame announced their four. Well, they announced their inductees this year. It includes John Smoltz, Craig Biggio, Randy Johnson, and who's the fourth? Wow. It was Smoltz, Randy Johnson, Biggio, Pedro Martinez, of course. How can I forget Pedro Martinez? But a lot of people have issues with the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I've got a few things to say about that. First of all, Craig Biggio is a compiler and doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I know that he has 3,000 hits. He batted 280 for his career. It's not Hall of Fame-esque at all. John Smoltz is the first pitcher to go into the Hall of Fame after having Tommy John surgery. That is significant because a lot of pitchers have Tommy John surgery. Like, it's something where they take a nerve from one part of your arm and they move it into your elbow or something. Anyway, the first guy to get the surgery, of course, was Tommy John, but Tommy John isn't in the Hall of Fame. So my first beef is that Tommy John should be in the Hall of Fame just because the surgery is called Tommy John surgery and he was the first one to get it done. Imagine if you're a pitcher and you elect to have some surgery that's never been done before. Hey, why don't you just try this? Move my ulnar collateral nerve over here or something like that. And it worked out. But Tommy John's not in the Hall of Fame. Anyway, John Smoltz got in. Deserving. He's got 150 saves, 150 wins. Nobody does that. He was on those good Braves teams that went all the way to the World Series in 1996 before losing to the Yankees, and went all the way to the World Series in 1999 before losing to the Yankees. And yeah, Smoltz deserving. Pedro Martinez, the most dominant. He was Sandy Koufax for that 5-year period when he was with Boston, and Randy Johnson, of course, Randy Johnson deserves it. Randy Johnson, probably the best left-handed pitcher of all time, and Randy Johnson, the first Rolling Stone photographer to make it into baseball's Hall of Fame, because he was at Knotfest taking pictures of Slipknot. Somebody said one of my friends, not one of my friends, somebody I know said that they ran into Randy Johnson at a concert because he takes metal photos. This isn't a joke. Randy Johnson goes to heavy metal shows and takes pictures. Somebody said that they saw him and his camera gear cost more than their house. I would expect nothing less. Isn't Randy Johnson? He's 7 feet tall. He's already up. He's 6'11", whatever, 6'10". He's already up there. You need expensive equipment? Isn't like getting up half the battle? I always complain about the high school basketball team standing in front of me at concerts. Imagine if Randy Johnson shows up. Oh man, that is so going in the blog if that happens. But since I'm in New York, I get a lot of New York bias over here, and a lot of people are so upset that Mike Piazza didn't get into the Hall of Fame. And I mean, here's the thing. If Mike Piazza wanted to be in the Hall of Fame, Mike Piazza shouldn't have told the baseball writers that, yeah, I did steroids. He shouldn't have said that. And people say that never happened. The baseball writers are dicks, but they're not going to make up lies. Why would he tell Bill Madden, the guy who wrote the George Steinbrenner book? Bill Madden was on with Mike Francesa the other day. He said, I'm not voting for him because I don't want a couple of years from now to see Mike Piazza's name on some list. He admitted to using andro when it was legal, when it wasn't a banned substance. Off the record, he admitted that to reporters. So that's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. We understand that he's the best hitting catcher of all time, which was helped out a lot by like people like Thurman Munson dying instead of finishing their careers. Be honest, I'll take Pudge Rodriguez over Mike Piazza any day. Sorry. Mike Piazza? What did he throw out? Like 11% of base runners? This guy was only drafted because Tommy Lasorda, his dad is friends with Tommy Lasorda. So they drafted him in like the 87th round or something. And they taught him how to catch so he can get to the big leagues. And then he went down and played winter ball, and then he learned how to hit. With all this, he got 69%. You need 75% to get in. Mike Piazza got 69% of the vote. I can understand if he got 30 and people were like, oh, that's not fair. Mike Piazza got the amount of percentage needed where he's going to get in next year. You think Mike Piazza's not getting in? Met fans get so mad. The Met fans should be more mad when Mike Piazza goes in wearing a Dodgers hat. That's how they should really be mad. That's when they should really start getting their panties in a bunch. Oh, I'd laugh so hard. That would be so great. Actually, I'm going to call Bud Selig right now. I'm going to call up Major League Baseball. I'm going to ask, what could I do to have Mike Piazza go into the Hall of Fame wearing a Dodgers cap to shut all these Met fans down? Listen, it's not my fault. The thing about Met fans is that their baseball team sucks. So they have to, they hope that their one good player gets into the Hall of Fame. And I understand. I totally get it. I totally get it. If he wanted to be in, on the first or second or third ballot, then he could have simply. I'm not even saying he could have not done steroids. I don't know if he did. I don't. I only know what he said. I don't know what he did. I'm not saying that Mike Piazza failed a drug test, or I'm not saying that Mike Piazza was on the Mitchell report or Anthony Bosch. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if Mike Piazza wanted to go into the Hall of Fame, he should not have mentioned that to the writers. And they're not they're not going to lie. Why would they lie about it? It's just, symptoms of having a terrible baseball team. When you're a fan of a terrible, terrible baseball team, that's what happens. You get your panties in a bunch over little things, and it's okay. It's all right. 69%, guys. He will get in. He's getting in next year. What is the big deal? All right. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to go to work. And I hate that with everything in my power. I hate that. But it's all right. So before I get up out of here, I'll give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. There's ConcertConfessions.com, where I was born and bred. That's for all your live music news and reviews. For the fans, by the fans. Go to a show. Join our family. Also go to theandydeershow.com for all your Deer Network podcast needs, whether that's the Tyler Cale Show, the flagship show, the Andy Deer Show, or the big show, the sultry tones of the J Porks Experience. We've also got ChristinaRocks.com, Hang the DJ, 89xradio.com every Sunday morning, 8 to noon. She's got throwback alternative. It's awesome stuff. You should check it out. And of course, the headlines, as they are every week, are powered by Any Quiet. Until next week, folks, whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.